Looking ahead and circling back with the 10 billion US dollars revenue, are any particular market or industry that you are focused, or do you think it would be the most contributor to this growth?
Yeah. Well, for this one, because still 2017, I mean, several years later, but the one thing I think is clear, just like our, previous telecom kind of business, is by the year of the 2017, I mean, the overall kind of overseas kind of a revenue of enterprise business should be much bigger than now. I mean, much bigger than now. Okay, because this question has also been asked several times regarding our proportion of the revenue, right? How, I mean, which region you have this biggest and kind of a revenue. I think for 2017, we will still, anyway, we still insist on some of our strategies. Well, not exactly, I mean, I can give you now because it's still 2017, but the one point is clear, is by that time, the overseas, I mean, besides mainland China, the overseas revenue of EBG will be much bigger than now, okay, because we are increasing, especially for our overseas besides mainland kind of the business, of enterprise business.
Europe is still the most important overseas.
You mean Europe?
Yeah.
Okay, Europe, right? Europe,
yeah.
Okay. Well, Europe is one of, I should say. Yes, it's one of our most important region. Yes. Now, I can give you some, we have two kinds of, ways. Firstly, we have our, we call the NA, the name account, NA client, okay. For NA name account, most of them, is very big kind of a client. And besides this NA client, and NA clients also can show our strategy on focusing, because we need to do some, big clients of that. And besides this NA, we also have our, of course, our channel strategy, and also like for. Give you some example is for the regions like big regions like China, mainland China, and also for some other regions like Europe. We just asked, okay, the portion of this revenue coming from the channel, okay, is becoming bigger and bigger. All right. So we are establishing our channel systems. Yeah. So we are doing, I think, in terms of the sales part. Yeah, we are doing this both ways. And also you asked me about as the telecom as a reseller, right? A carrier. Sure, as I mentioned before. Yeah, because carrier is very important customer to Huawei. We're building up our relationship in this domain. Of course, we are cooperating with these telecom operators. Yeah.
And working with channels is different from what you were used to work with while selling to carriers, right?
Sure.
So how difficult is that? To build this channel strategy, to divide them into the separate categories, and to give them goals, and how is it difficult, and what are you doing to overlap it?
It's also a very good question, and for previously we are high touch of our customer for telecom. So for channels. Also wanted to give you an example of what we have done here now in our domestic market in China. I think it's kind of a phase-by-phase one. For channels, their channels are different for different products, right? So there are channel for networking, channel for server, channel for storage. So the first step is to consolidate all these channels. Yeah, consolidate. That means we have to identify, okay, whether this, one of the channel they can handle only the server, and or otherwise it is kind of integrated, channel. They can cover all our product line. So it is consolidate. And after consolidation, we have to layered all this channel, right? So now we have the top layer, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. So to make it very clear structure of this channel, okay, this is the second phase or second step. And after that, the very important one is a policy. So the policy of the channel system, right? So for also give the example like in our domestic market is, so our strategy for that one is to be very open, okay, and it's kind of fair, kind of I think it's open and fair, and we call it this kind of channel policy, and this policy should be from how to say top down, I mean to be executed of these policies. So, but it's for sure you're right. It is it's a challenge, of course, right, compared with previously. But some of our regions already achieved lots of progress. Yeah. So that's why their revenues coming from a channel is becoming bigger and bigger. Okay. This I can give you one information, which is really good, how to say, supporting message for this one. We have doing some, organization transforming. I think this year, okay, H1, yeah, this year. That is what? That previously for our EBG, former EBG, we consisting of some product lines. We have product line, former one, okay, product line like an enterprise networking, or the IT, this kind of enterprise related, right? We do this transformation is we have now moved all the product line into one system or one organization. We call the PNS, Product and Solutions. Okay, Product and Solutions. And now under the PNS, we have 7 or 8, I cannot remember exactly, but that is for all our Huawei's product lines. So including the enterprise networking, the fixed network, transmission, wireless. Okay, the ELT now is under the wireless product line. That means the wireless for telecom and also the wireless for enterprise. So based on this kind of a transformation, we have consolidated or we have put our product line or R&D resources under one platform, very big platform, right? I think this is should be one of the biggest kind of product lines in the industry.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's a really huge one, yeah. The purpose for this consolidation or transformation of this organization is really to share these resources of our R&D resources, technology communications. So I think for the bundling of the, it's not a question, it's not an issue. We will very naturally in the market, especially for enterprise, right? They do have their servers. They have their networking part. Yeah. Like for one of the example is our Fusion Cube. Our Fusion Cube, right? Fusion Cube has integrated the server storage from IT product line, and also the networking part from the enterprise part. And also another example is our DC2. We call it DC Square. And this year we have launched our service-driven DC2. Okay, so in the DC2 solution, we also, besides the IT product lines offerings, which is very important one, is a cloud fabric. Cloud fabric is based on our networking part offering. Okay, so it's quite natural because they are all under the same PNS.
Huawei want to take advantage from networking to sell to enterprise, because your competitors such as IBM, HP, Dell, they usually don't have the networking, but they have, for example, business analytics or more soft layers. So how do you want to face them, and how do you want to integrate your offerings to have, I don't know, a big solution or...
Okay. Well, Huawei, for the networking part, we are, how to say, we, at this moment, Huawei is strong at this network. I don't know whether you know that. I mean, last year, we launched our Agile network and the Agile switch last year, right, which is SDN based. And this year on our HNC, our Network Congress, we launched our Agile controller, okay, and make this SDN-based solution more complicated, more completed, right? More completed. So for this one, and for the integration part, yeah, this is one of Huawei's strengths. That means we have a bigger, more comprehensive products, right? For some of the projects we do, I think it's kind of a natural way of this cooperation between different kind of product lines. But for the exact, very specific kind of projects, I cannot remember now. Maybe I can give you later one example. Okay.
Could you just go a little bit further on SDN adoption by enterprises? From my perspective, companies are understanding this concept and they are starting to be interested in adopting. What do you think is going to happen in a couple of years, for example? The adoption will increase a lot? Or?
Sure. The adoption will increase a lot. So that's why I mentioned just now is our Agile network. That's why Huawei we launched our Agile network. And the core of the Agile switch is one of the processor we call ENP, okay, Ethernet kind of network processor. And this is why we kind of developed processor. The difference between ENP and the ASIC chips is the ENP is fully programmable. The benefits of fully programmable is, so for the card, I mean in the chassis, okay, in the chassis of Agile switch, it can be program defined of this function. It can be program defined as a BRAS interface, BRAS card, and also it can be programmable, software programmable as an AC card. AC control, I mean Wi-Fi control AC card. So the same kind of hardware can be programmable, defined. So this is the core of our Agile switch, ENP. And based on this ENP, and you asked me about this trend, right? I give you some examples of since the launch of our Agile switch and Agile network last August, we have achieved lots of these projects. I think several hundred, right? Several hundred. Maybe I can refer to you later exact the data because I cannot say the wrong data. And this can show this trend of SDN requirements. Give you one example is at the campus. Okay, one of the university campus network. Okay, so the campus network is one of the most complicated networks because they have lots of different applications, and they have the networks for the students, for the for the teacher, and they have their own campus information systems, right? Lots of ones, and they have their huge of these campus area, right? They have to cover, okay. So before if they want to deliver some new service. Okay, new service, and also the challenges for the management of wireline and wireless. Right? And nowadays, everybody will have to enjoy Wi-Fi, lot of APs. So this Agile switch can realize this unified management of wireline and wireless. So this is really the feature. This university campus, they love it. Okay, they love it. And we can. Another one is we have. Yeah.
Sorry, did you say which university campus that is?
This case is in China.
In China.
Yeah, one of China. I think the southeast minority university.
Yeah.
Okay. So they really love this kind of unified management of wireline and wireless. Okay, they don't need to just go to many places and do the configuration. Okay, some other functions like enhanced. I think it's enhanced, a kind of a function enhanced this super virtualized function, SVF. I remember SVF. The super virtualized function is based on Huawei's Agile network solution, we can consider the access switch, the converged switch as a one kind of code, a one node. So that's why we call it super kind of virtualized function. So it only can be shown as a one node on my management topology. Okay? So it can fully improve this efficiency of this new service delivery and the fault allocation, right? And this management. So I just give you one of example. Yeah, they love this function. And later on, they will. So first step is Agile switch. This unified management of wireline and wireless. And next step, they are introducing our Agile controller, which is just launched this year. So based on the Agile controller, everything becomes even more simple or simpler, right? Simpler. So you can visually to say these resources of the virtualized resources, network resources, as well as some other resources. This is edge